Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Halloween edition. How about that?
My goodness, what in the heck is that? That looks fantastic.
This
Woo!
is the I think
Chamber
annual.
of Horrors?
Well, it's the annual Atomsplit Cosplay for Halloween slash Inktober.
This might be NC-17. It's kind of violent.
It is
Oh,
violent.
at least you got his hands there, so it's not like his head's just chopped off.
Oh right, yeah. I mean they're
That was
pushing him
that.
down into that
Yeah,
that
to the cauldron.
right. But so this year Atomsplit is dressed up like the main characters from the Tales from the Crypt comic,
Mm.
and I haven't put all the lettering in, but
Oh man, that looks fantastic.
up here at the top, Colby is the Crypt Keeper, and then Gracie is the old hag, and Disaster is the Vault Keeper, and
Wow.
JT here is the victim.
That looks fantastic. I mean,
Thanks.
already the shading there on the left with the you got going on. It's really
Yeah, I don't do that much in the actual comic, but this is more
yeah.
like the style that they were doing for the old EC comics. So this is based on EC comics, and where it says AS up here, it would say
Mhm.
EC,
Mhm.
and based on the Tales from the Crypt comic. So
Yeah.
that's what they're cosplaying at this year. And Tales from the Crypt was the comic that got into a lot of hot water because they had done a bunch of violent
Mhm.
imagery, and it went to the Supreme Court, and it had to do with the communist
Ah,
Red Scare and McCarthy hearings, and in the end,
really?
what came out of it was the comics code that was like a voluntary rating system that the comics community came up with, and the end of all of these horror comics for a long time. And since they weren't doing horror comics anymore, EC went on to make Mad Magazine.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
so you could say that all of that court stuff that happened to him was good because they might not have made Mad Magazine if that hadn't happened. But then it was bad because Tales from the Crypt had to go away, and um, the old hag, she had her comic was The Haunt of Fear,
Mhm.
and the Vault Keeper here was the Vault of Terror, and the Crypt Keeper was Tales from the Crypt.
Mhm.
And then
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt, and then Tales from the Crypt came back as a HBO TV show. So
Yeah. Wow. So
so
how much more till you're done? I mean, obviously you're gonna color it, I guess.
yeah, I'm gonna color it. I don't. It's gonna be done by the 31st.
Okay, cool.
So keep an eye out.
All right. Well, that looks great. That's one of the best ones yet, for sure.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
didn't. I couldn't think of any. I usually do something that has to like a cosplay that has to do with a movie that came out during this time.
Yeah.
Like, but the only movies that have come out really are Halloween
Yeah, I was gonna say Halloween.
and Predator, and those are both
Yeah.
like one character
Right.
movies, and you can't really do with four characters. So I just
And their remakes, well, kind of remakes.
yeah,
So cool, man. All right. Well, fantastic.
yep,
All right. So the next big thing we got going on is the Atom Split Superspin um, collection, which is out now. Hopefully, by the time this is released, it's on SoundCloud. I just got the physical CDs in hand to proof and test, and it looks awesome. Sounds great. The
nice.
artwork looks freaking fantastic. on the cover. I'm going to send you a couple. So
I did that about a year ago.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, and I never got all the song. Well, it was really supposed to be a single at that point, but then it was just kind of a pain to release a single online. So for the 21st anniversary, 21st anniversary of Atomsplit, I decided to make remixes of a song from each record over the past 20 years, and then include a brand new song for 2018. So that's what we did. So we have Psytrance and chiptone, trap, kind of EDM dance, kind of retro wave, and modern, all kinds of different things, covering at least one, maybe two songs from each of the eight releases over the last 20 years.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was one of my favorite bands, The Cure, remixes made me inspired to do this. So what we're going to do is jump right into it and play a trap mix of track number 3 on the CD called from the song Tune in Tokyo off of One Ton Suit. And this is actually got 2 mixes of this made and went with this one, and in a future podcast I'll play the other option that I have as well, which is like where the vocals are tuned down a couple steps. But so let's roll this and let you play, or let you keep working on the Tales from the Crypt.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Tune in Tokyo. All right, there you have it.
Yeah, sounds
Tune in
good.
Tokyo trap mix.
And that's good. I'm glad you did a trap one, because you know trap is like the main export of the Atlanta rap these days.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I had to recommended the guy, and I wasn't sure, so I let him choose it. This was an Italian guy, I think, who was living in Romania, who did that one. So then he did, like I said, he did another version.
Romania or Armenia?
Romania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that song, originally, the voice in that is the drummer John's sister, who called in the studio one night and did those. She did a internship or a teachership or something in Japan, and we had her read those make up those lines in Japanese, and that's what's those cool little sound effects there.
What is she saying?
I think she's saying like "Good evening, Tokyo" or something like that.
Okay.
So, and that, the idea itself obviously came, or not obviously, but came from the phrase in, gosh, it was either 16 Candles or Pretty in Pink. Which one has the character Long Duck in it? I forget. And he says "Tune in Tokyo," and that's where that came from. So
I think it was 16 Candles.
I think so. So from there, that's actually track number 3. The first song on the CD is Millicent, which is about a 6-minute long psytrance, which is really killer, but I didn't want to play that for 6 minutes here. And then the second one is So Over You, which was one of the bigger songs from the early days, a chip tone mix, which I think I didn't play it yet, but we'll play it, in another one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one a lot.
Do you? Okay.
Is that the only one that was chip tune?
No, there's 2. There's that one, and then there was the cartoon show, which is later era, your era. And so from there, let's skip ahead. I think we played the dance mix last week. Let's skip ahead to Americanized, what I call the Shake Me mix, which is, I don't know, I just call it that for some reason, but it's completely redone. This is one of the bigger songs from about 10 years ago. And I wasn't sure in today's political climate how this would turn out, but I think it actually turned out to be pretty good and kind of appropriate even today. Things were different, 10 years ago. So here we go. Americanized Shake Me mix.
Tight blouse, I wanna be complete. I want a fast car, big f***ing rock star. I wanna get real tweaked. I want above ground.
Okay, so I like that song because I've heard it. It makes the lyrics more distinct, and I heard some of the lyrics that I hadn't heard right
Interesting.
before. Now
Okay.
I've heard
You
them.
said that last time.
When? For that song?
No, whatever one was last week. I forget which one it was.
Chainsaw?
Yeah, it might have been.
Well, it's I did. When the lyrics are slowed down, like a lot of these are,
Yeah.
I can make them out better.
Interesting. Good point. Okay.
Because I was just, the whole time I've been singing along to whatever.
The rock version where it's kind of buried in the mix or whatever.
Yeah, the what I was hearing.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I mean that's the way it is with a lot of music I listen to through the years, and then I hear it remastered or remixed, and I was like, oh shoot, that's actually what they're saying. I was wrong, though. 20 years. Okay, that's a great point.
Yeah.
All right. So that one came out pretty good. That was one of the last ones to be completed for the set.
And he worked
like I
on
said,
that.
That was my other guy in Romania who actually did the original Battery Powers and Gravity Will Get You remixes for the first time when we did the remix singles.
Okay.
I can always go to him, Zanat, and I called on him to do that one and the Chainsaw. He did that one. So.
Well, he's my favorite guy because out of all the songs, Battery Powers is my most favorite.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's the first guy I went to, and like I said, he never lets me down.
And he's Romanian.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does he know the other guy that lives in Romania? But
I was wondering that. I don't know.
Okay.
I wonder because I had two different guys in Israel do two different songs. I was like, do they know each other? Probably not, but I don't know. So, so let's go from here to the Retrowavz mix of Up to You, which is the deep cut on the soundtrack, the record for the original animation. So this was never really got played or anything, but I always thought it was really good easygoing tune.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I couldn't decide what track to do off that record, and I was going to do Find Your Flare, which I still probably will do, but I didn't do it this time. And then I went with this one, and I found this guy in Italy to do this one. And he does like this 80s retro thing, and I was like, man, that would be really cool to do for this one. So that's what Up to You, which is like, I don't know, track number 7, 8 off the soundtrack, which is now going on, what, I don't know, 6, 7 year old, something like that. So let's spin that one, and then we'll be near the end.
The original soundtrack to the original animation.
Correct, yeah. So this was like near the end of the CD, that CD, when they were on stage, and they're kind of slowing it down. Kind of not a power ballad, but the slower song,
Mm-hmm.
And this guy took it and made a like 80s keyboard hit out of almost disco. But it's completely different than the other ones we just played, but I love it none the same. So, all right, here we go.
All right.
It doesn't really go with Tales with the Crypt, but who cares?
View. to feel the truth in my bones. I'm looking up to you. I'm looking out. I'm looking up to you. I'm looking up. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. I'm looking up to you. I'm looking up. 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 I'm looking up to you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one's completely different.
Yeah. So you get the feeling that that's retro 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't think so? What do you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be retro 80s, but there's a lot of songs these days that sound like that. I mean, you could go to Hype Machine and find like a bunch of songs that sound like, like
Really?
very synthy. So it's pretty modern.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty modern, but also 80s too.
Huh. Okay.
And that's what I like about it, because it sounds like a lot of bands I like to listen to. Like
Interesting. Okay.
let's say what did I say? It sounds sometimes it sounds like Two Door Cinema Club or Small Black, or something like that. Modern
All right, I'll have to check that out.
modern two person indie pop bands.
Yeah, well, I think they're all probably influenced by the 80s, so they're all
Yeah.
kind of retro. So, yeah. All right, I'll buy that. So that's 3 tracks off of Atomsplit Superspin. And I'm not going to play another one. We'll play 2, maybe 3 more next time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
Available now.
Hopefully we'll play Battery Powers next time.
Yeah, we'll play that. I didn't want to play that because that was actually had already been out, but it's remastered for this.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we'll play the brand new one. And so I was working on 4 new rockin' songs for it, or for a EP, and then I started this project. And so one of those rockin' songs, Naked and Out There, I did the remix of, which was because I wanted something brand new on it. So that's track 13. And we'll do that one next time.
Yeah, you got to put like the newest thing. Even if Atomsplit has a newest album, you got to put something remix from that too.
Right. So that's what that was. So, but like I said, the CD, the physical CD artwork, printing and all looks fantastic. So I'm excited. I don't know if anybody still buys CDs, but
Well, here's what I'm wondering: are there gonna be records and tapes?
well, we were thinking about doing a vinyl, but I don't know. The mastering for it is so weird. You have to have certain level of audio to get that's lower than normal to get it mastered properly for vinyl. So I don't. Pretty much every track that I ended up getting was pretty hot, as we say, hot. Really pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm still mulling it over. I don't know if it'll work for vinyl or not. But that would be super cool. I know we talked about that in a couple podcasts ago, but I don't know.
And tapes are back in. So.
Tapes I can make. We can DIY those, so that shouldn't be a problem. Actually, that's a great idea. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But vinyl, you got a minimum print of 100, so you got to make it worth selling 100 records. Shouldn't be too hard, right?
Yeah. I was wondering, why did vinyl and tapes get popular again? Is it because there's still machines that do that, but play those things? Because why wouldn't there be, like, 8 tracks? Or...
Well, I'll tell you why there wouldn't be 8 tracks. Because 8 tracks used to stop in the middle of the song. And then... Did you ever have one?
No.
Yeah, so, like, you'd put in an 8-track. I mean, when I was really young, I had some Kiss ones. And, like, it would stop in the middle, like, I think it was four tracks, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like sides of a record, like 1 and 2, but it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you were in the middle of a song on number 2, it would stop and then pick back up on number 3. So you would stop the song. It was bizarre, and I mean, it's just a horrible listening experience.
Yeah.
I imagine that's why 8 tracks have never come back.
Okay.
But I mean, at least vinyl, you get 2 sides and you can fit stuff. If we did a vinyl version of this record, we'd have to cut out, I don't know, probably 4 songs because vinyl won't take 50 minutes. I think it's 40 minutes total,
Yeah.
So.
Like, usually it's about 8 songs.
Right, so, which is no big deal then.
Yeah. Now,
But,
what about cylinders? Why do you think cylinders haven't come back?
Now, when you say cylinders, you mean... What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what that is.
It's like a tube, and it has tin, and it has the music, like, punched into it, like machine punched into it, and then
I think that's going back to, like, player pianos or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's old.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, because it's really old, and they probably had to break stuff up.
There's no players for it anymore.
Yeah.
But you wound up, you put this cylinder onto, like, a thing, like a circular thing, and then you wound it up, and it played the song.
Yeah.
It decoded the song from those holes.
I have a paper, an antique player, a hurdy-gurdy, like I don't know, what do you call it? Here at the house. And so it's got this load of paper in it that has all these marks in the paper, and it's like almost like an organ, but you crank it, and it plays. You play the paper through, and the organ plays the notes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to show that to you sometime.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, but like when I was little, my grandfather had player pianos in his auction house, and he had these. They had like cylinders in it or paper things that you would load into it that would play the music through the pianos. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, did your grandfather have a phonograph?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had all kinds of stuff back in the day. I mean, when I grew up, he had this giant warehouse was an auction. He had an auction business that was full of old artifacts of all different kinds that we grew up playing in. And like I said, a couple. I know he had at least 2 or 3 player pianos that would load these paper rolls in that would play. It was pretty cool.
Was there ever anything haunted in there?
There had to be, but I didn't know what haunted was when I was that little, so I didn't know.
Well, at least it never like attached itself to you.
I don't think it did. Yeah, so yeah, that was a good part of my childhood growing up.
That does sound fun. I mean,
yeah, it was killer. All kinds of crazy things in there.
How about old-timey comics?
There wasn't any. Unfortunately, there wasn't any Fantastic Four #1s or anything like that in there. There was a lot of magazines, though.
Okay.
And so, well, actually, some of those comics, like I sent you some over the past few years. Those came from him. Well, he's not here anymore, but they came from deals that he made, like those really old ones and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
Those were things that he got in trades and stuff.
Like that Thor from the 60s.
Yeah. This first, like, when he passed, my grandmother sent me all those. Like, here's stuff your grandfather got in deals. So you got him now.
Yeah, that's the oldest comic I've ever touched.
Yeah. So, he didn't know what was going on, but he wheeled and dealed for him. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. We're probably about at time. So, you want to scale back out and tell us what's going on with the progress here on Tales from the Crypt?
Well, I got most of the texture on the walls and Vault Keeper Disaster done. And now I'm brushing in JT's face.
So at the last Heroes Con we were at, I went to the booth that has like compilation books of these things, of Tales from the Crypt. Mm-hmm. And Roy Thomas, who I'd seen in the Doctor Strange track, was right next to me. Like, he's the famous writer, editor of all kinds of Doctor Strange, Marvel Comics, and he was holding that, and I think he actually may have bought it, like, right next to me. I was like, oh man, this is cool. I didn't, like, they were like $40 for the compilation of Tales from the Crypt, so I didn't buy it, but I think he did. So.
That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, he was really into it. He was asking the guys at the booth, like, a bunch of questions about it, so. Okay, well, this has been a great one.
Yeah.
And it went by fast because we played 3 songs, which is unusual.
Yeah, but we got a lot of songs to play still.
Yeah, we got a lot of songs to play. So let's wrap it up. And so basically this will be Atomsplit Superspin
Part 1.
Podcast Part 1. Right, exactly. And then we'll do Part 2 next time.
All right.